What? Uh-oh. We need to cook. We need to cook. Is that lined up with this camera? I think this camera's lined up pretty nicely. Yes, it is indeed. How you doing, Abraham? How you doing, XPO? Hope you had good days. Hope you had a good week. Yeah, let's cook. We are going to cook. Indeed, we shall cook. We need to pick the tracks. Good and you. Lovely, mate. Lovely. I've had a good week. Got my first league race today? Nice. What track you on? What track you racing? Lewis! How you doing, man? How was last stream? I fell asleep. Last stream was good. It was funny. It was good. But I hope you had a good sleep as well. Right. Barley. Nice. Time to cook it up, buddy. Right, we need to pick what track. We're going to start off on Hungary. Because I've learned a lot about setup recently. So I need to quickly readjust the tracks for Iron Man before we go ahead with stuff. Taking P1 in the chat. Bro's cooking. Great sleep. Lovely. I'm doing good as well, thank you, buddy. I'm doing good. Doing very good. It is time to lock in. Please don't put me down the grid. Please don't put me super far. Oh, it's okay. P4, P4. We take it. We take those dubs. We take those dubs. Do. Right. Like I say, learned a lot about setup recently. So like I just need to readjust a few of the setups before we go ahead, and we'll be calling it Gucci. Put that there. Probably can go there, I imagine. Glad to hear, mate. Lovely. Cheers, buddy. Much appreciated. Depending what time we get done, we may do some open lobbies later tonight as well. But priority will be setup development. That's first and foremost. Yeah, of course. How so? Like, to setups being the priority, Abraham, or like something else that you're saying? Of course, Steve. Oh, silence in setup. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it, man. Okay, that's already in a really good position.
Alright, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Radio check.
Yo! Chop it, man! How you doing? Thank you so much for the gifted. You're an absolute legend, buddy. Hope you had a good day. And TY Charles, welcome to the membership. Dub Tropic, facts. You're going to Silverstone to the next few days? Nice! Enjoy, buddy. Oh, that's not gone well. Yeah, much appreciated, Tropic, though, man. Hope you had a great week. There may be open lobbies tonight. I'm not 100% sure on it. Basically comes down to how efficient I can be with setup development. Like, yeah, the priority is setup development. Then if I get time later, we'll do some open lobbies. If they will be, it will probably be around 2 hours from now. What corner are you sitting on, though? For Silverstone? Or are you moving around during the weekend? Okay, that was worse. We changed the off-road differential there. Club.
Okay, radio check. Radio check.
50-0 wings good here. Good. Cheers, buddy. I'll make sure really to take that into a lot of consideration. Like, trust me when I say I'm trying it right now. I hope you believe me. Chat. What's your favorite white girl music? Before going live today, I was jamming to Taylor Swift and Ellie Goulding. Man, honestly, white girl music is underrated. Alright, I need to lock in. Yo! Katy Perry? Wait, last Friday night is peak, to be fair. Untouched? I probably heard it, I don't recognize the name. Mate, it's so funny though with white girl music. Because all the boys will be pretending to play gangster music and like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll all be pretending to play really, like, tough music and pretending to be a gangster. As soon as the boys are out the car and you're on the way home by yourself, Katy Perry is being blasted. You're jamming or tweaking setups? Mate, normally that's me between the driving though. I don't listen to music when driving. I just prefer to generally just lock in a bit. But in between the laps, oh yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of understeer, but I'm not sure that's a bad thing on this track in the race.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
What does it mean to say, like, cop it, bud? Like, I don't get it. Is that, like, a good or a bad thing? I'm not that good with slang, to be fair. But I don't know that many slangs. Your ERC? Nice, mate. What race? What track on topic? Club? Nice. What one's club again? Is that the final sector? Like, going onto the pit straight, no? Right, let's try this. Going through Hamilton Place. Oh, okay, bang him, mate, bang him. Will you run down for the podium, or will you watch the podium from the grandstand? Yo, Dean, I'm doing good, thank you, buddy. Hope you had a good day as well. Watch, nice. Five songs for quality push laps. Just lock in. Oh yeah. Okay, we got rid of the understeer. Okay, that feels a lot better. I don't know why it went... Ooh. Okay, I had a bit of front bottom there. We'll do another lap just to double check this. So apart from that one corner, it felt a lot better. My pace looks a lot better. Thank you. I feel a lot better, to be honest. Like, I really got burnt out from the competitive driving stuff. I really didn't learn to dislike. I just didn't really enjoy it towards the end of my career. And I love being able to be good at something, but not to have pressure from unnecessary sources, you know? Like, I feel proud of what I did in terms of winning 2 championships, but I just no longer felt like I need to prove anything. What's healthy in terms of, like, yourself in life, but it can also be destructive in terms of results, because if you don't feel like a need to prove anything to yourself or to the outside world, you lose a lot of the motivation to go to that final level, you know? A lot of, like, in my opinion at least, a lot of the final parts of performance in terms of the mind is about that level of extra energy you get from proving a point. You make 110 look like 0? Oh, thank you. The AI are slow this game, though.
Radio check. Radio check.
Radio check.
If you can hear that sort of sound in the background, by the way, that's just how many setups I have saved. I'm literally scrolling down a list of about nearly 100 setups. I need to organize this stuff a bit better. I know where everything is, I just need to organize it. Looks so smooth when you drive. Thank you. To be honest, that kind of goes against me in modern Formula 1 games. Like, since 2024, like, the smooth driving style for the peak performance is basically gone. So yeah, even in the braking, actually. Like, back on, like, 2018, you had to be super smooth with the car. And since then, you could sort of be a bit more rough with the car, even up to 2023. And I'm all about being smooth with my inputs. So it was a bit of a shame that the game, for me anyway, that the game went away from that sensitivity, you know? How you doing, Mounty?
Welcome to Hungary. We're on the outskirts of the capital, Budapest, at a track that's extremely popular.
Right, time to cook it up. Oh, we're starting P4 again.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to ask some questions. Of course, when I'm, like, locked in, I'm driving, I can't read chat too much. Like, longer messages I can't see. But I can see them, I just can't read them because I'm driving. But, yeah, always feel free to ask something, and if I have the time in between the driving, I'll be happy to answer it, you know? Come on, feed us unk. That has got to be the weirdest comment I've read this week. What's all that about? The cooking part? Oh, okay, copy. How you doing, Jensen? Holy understeer.
Mate, radio check, please. Radio
Latifi
check.
was better.
Radio check.
Let's go, Tifi. Sure. Oh, okay. You bottom out on that outside curving. Good to know. Not much more I can do about the
Radio
suspension
check,
of the
radio
car.
check.
Radio check.
Oh, what a rocket of a start. Radio check, man. Don't get me started with that game feature, man. I hate it with a passion. Like, the first time you load in, it's fun to hear, like, okay, radio check. Okay, that's interesting. That's a good feature. But when you spent, like, 1,000 hours on the game after a year, every race you hear the same comment, man. Just let me go into the game in peace. Right here, oh, radio check. Oh, radio check. Radio check. As you can tell, I'm passionate about the subject. It's pretty hard to see what I can do to actually get rid of this understeer around here. Because I can't, like... I can't go low on the rear wing, otherwise it locks the
Okay,
wrist.
give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What about you? Probably, like, double that? ARB? Yeah, it's already, like, min-max, basically. To be honest. Maybe it might be better just to live with the understeer until tire's dead. We'll try that. We'll try that. See what happens. Great start.
We're expecting this light rain to stay with us. We don't think we'll see a change in the weather throughout this entire session. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Great info. To be fair, that info was actually quite good. Okay, yeah, the baseline is good. I think I'll work more on this off stream. But I think the balance is going to get better as the tires dig out. What is what you really want here anyway. Okay, yeah, the balance is already getting better. Okay, it's cooking. Oh, I don't want to do flashback. Not fully gave up on Twitch.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
It's radio check with this one. Okay, sorry, back to the point. No, I haven't fully gave up on Twitch. At the moment, I'm having quite a lot of difficulties with keeping streams consistent in terms of the quality. Like having loads of lag freezes, loads of frame drops, etc. So at the moment, I'm only streaming on YouTube until I can understand the problems. And then once I understand the problems more, I plan to expand back out to Twitch and TikTok. But at the moment, it's just I just want to at least get one stream up consistently, you know. That's what's happening at the moment. I was supposed to set up. How's best to adapt to set up for drawing stocks? I get them fast. It's 90% about just understanding what you like in the car. Like, I like a little bit of like understeer rather than oversteer. So with that being said, I can know to compromise the car to understeer rather than oversteer. So once you know your characteristics, then you can base yourself around it, if that helps answer the question a bit. I don't have a streaming PC. Maybe I'll look into that for the future. When do you think Kimmy's first race win will be? Good question. Where's cold? Cold and not hard on the tires. I think Kimmy can win a race this season, but the race will have to be cold to suit the Mercedes, and it will have to be an off weekend for George. I think it'll be worth looking into this. You'd like to have a pointy car that grips in the rear? Don't we all, mate? To be fair, that's everyone. The dream situation is having a pointy car and grippy on the rear. But the thing with driving style is understanding what you can live or can't live without, you know? So, for example, some people, like Otis, maybe has a more confidence with a loose rear, whereas I like to keep the car more stable. So you have to understand what you don't want to live, what you can't live without, and then base around that, you know? My 3 noise! Oh my god! I don't think I've adjusted Kota setup. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, but Abu Dhabi is sensitive on the tires.
Welcome to Austin, Texas for the
Oh.
United States Grand.
I think
The race not far.
Kimi is so talented, but George is so good on all of the race management now that it'll be hard to beat George on like a tire management situation. How you doing, Matthew? Welcome in, buddy.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
I did a 25-1, but of course I have no team support. It's literally just me. So I imagine I could have got a 25-0, to be honest, if I sweated it for longer. But I think, yeah, probably at this stage, I would probably say 24-8 to like where esports drivers are. If not, I'm coming out of retirement, baby. We'll be back. Nah, George is past his bottling days. The only thing that would mess up George's mind now is the whole Mercedes situation. Like, if he got dropped from Mercedes, I think that's the only thing that would mess up his mentality going forward, to be honest. Apart from that, he's rock solid. What I also think is a crazy situation for Mercedes. Like, I can't help but feel a bit bad for George. He's a nice lad. He's a really nice lad behind the scenes as well, from what I spoke with him. And yeah, he's... yeah, he's in a situation like this. And I think the thing that sucks the most is if he wants a chance of winning the championship, he has to stay in Mercedes. Like... no, it wouldn't destroy Kimi. I don't think it would. And to be honest, Mercedes, of course, care about that. As Kimi's their protege, you know, but... man, what are you going to do? Not sign Verstappen because you want Kimi to possibly be better than him one day? I think Mercedes just want Verstappen because he's the best. That's it. That's it. Like, I don't think there's anything more to it. Verstappen's the best. They want the best. They want to sign the best.
Alright, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Low key, though, feel bad for Lewis. Low key, though. Like, Lewis only got offered a 1+1. George is in the same situation, I'm pretty sure of it. And Lewis is having to watch, like... imagine Lewis got replaced by Verstappen if he stayed at Mercedes. Honestly, I think it would have happened. If Lewis stayed at Mercedes, I reckon Kimi would have been put elsewhere, possibly in the Williams drive, next to Alexander Albon, because Carlos Sainz took forever to sign that contract, you know? So possibly Kimi would have been in the Williams drive. Let's see. It would have been George and Lewis in Mercedes for this year. And then I reckon they would have dropped Lewis for Max. To be honest. Well, ironically, in all this situation would have made George more secure. Ironically. Yeah, but I mean... The thing is like... The difficult thing for the Kimi situation is George... Oh, sorry, Leclerc. George is like one of the best performers on the grid this year. Like, he's been exceptional. So, I know that Max and George come with a bit of history. But can you really afford to drop George Russell right now? I don't know if you can. No, I don't like the word unfair in Formula 1. I don't like that word. The reason I don't like it is because nothing's fair in Formula 1. Nothing's fair in life, to be honest, either. Like, that isn't like a depressive comment to say. It's truth, in my opinion. Like, I think people speak about what's fair, what's right. But let's be honest, everyone's just in that sport to win. That's life, you know? It's not personal. It's just what happens. I'll be uploading my Silverstone setup tonight onto the website. So then, yeah, they'll be updated. Just want to get some more tracks done. So there's more tracks in the update, basically. The thing is, for George, what I'm a bit worried about is if George leaves Mercedes, or if Mercedes leaves George, I should say, because George doesn't want to leave Mercedes. Where else can he be in a winning team, providing they don't get, like, a good start in 2026? And not have to spend the next 4 or 5 years building again. You know what I mean? Did I get a Brazilian one done? Not right now, but it's on my list to do imminently. I already have a fair idea of what to change on the setup, so possibly it can be done today and uploaded as the file today as well. That's very possible. Website, yeah, I have my setups on the website. It's in the description of the stream, buddy. The thing what can happen as well, like, George could end up in Red Bull because depending on the contractual situations of Max, like, everyone speculates his exit clause, but no one actually knows apart from his inner team. Basically, what can happen is maybe Toto does a swap with Christian Horner, that he gets Max Verstappen, Horner gets George Russell, and Mercedes pays like 90 million. Or maybe more. Like, that's a realistic situation I can see happening.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Yeah, Russell would survive at Red Bull. He's a tough cookie, you know? Yeah, F1 is ruthless. Everyone, like, tunes into F1 and think... Well, not everyone, but... People tune into Formula 1 and think there should be this moral high ground and sort of like, well, the right thing should always happen. They think this about life as well, to be honest. And it's nice when the right thing does happen, don't get me wrong. But spoiler alert, very rarely does the right thing happen. Yeah, Aston's an option. Truly believe it is. George and Alonso get along quite well. If Lance doesn't really want to continue anymore, then he can leave. Lance Stroll might sell the team. Like, he's a billionaire. He knows how to connect through. Even if he owned the team for a few seasons while Lance wasn't racing, it's still possible. So I can see George at Aston. I think if George loses his Mercedes seat, it's the place to go. Lance will not quit. You never know. Lance has been around since 2017. You never know when someone's motivation might go away. Would it be cool to make it interesting? Probably. I don't think it's the way to go, though. The refueling races are quite hard to follow. If you know what you're looking for, exciting, but for most people, they're very difficult to follow. Win and bounce? I don't think you'll bounce after a win.
Okay, radio check. Radio check.
Radio check.
I always feel so bad for these AI. Just having to deal with me sending it in every time. Yeah, we'll have to see how the power units play out next year. Will be alright. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. From what I hear, Mercedes are in the front seat. In terms of innovation, though, I think McLaren are in the front seat. They seem to be the team innovating the most. So, I think McLaren will be really formidable in the new regs. They seem to have the best correlation data at the moment. Okay, Surf is cooking now. Yoki Williams might be much better. I agree. They will be better because from what I hear, the Mercedes power unit is so ridiculously good. So they'll get a leg up from that. But next season will be, I think, so much about technology correlations to the on-track. Like with the active aero and, you know what I mean? Because effectively what they're doing is building 2 racing cars in one. Like, they're dealing with one to be good with the active aero turned off, and one to be good with the active aero turned on, right? And I think that's pretty difficult to do both. Very difficult, in fact. Because if you think about all the wing angles, the airflow of the car, the nuanced details, that's borderline impossible to make the airflow underneath the car good or great for both, you know? I think Lewis will get his 8th. Hard to say, leaning towards no, to be honest. I would love him to, like I'm a Lewis fan, but I doubt it. I doubt it at the moment. Charles is so strong that it'll just be hard to even just beat Charles, you know? I think the only way, not the only way, but the main way Lewis can beat Charles is just making the car so much better for him. Like that, or having political situations inside Ferrari that suit him better than Charles. Like, and I say that as a Lewis fan, you know? I say that as a Lewis fan. So different between modes? Yeah, facts. Facts. I think a lot of people aren't thinking about that, to be honest. They're a lot thinking about, like, a singular thing. They're a lot thinking, like, okay, who can just build the best car? But like I say, I think it's more complex than that now. It's like 2 cars you have to build. No, I wouldn't say the tension is from Lewis, but I mean tension just generally inside the team, you know? Like, if one person wants to go one way on the setup, the other person not.
Check, please. Radio check.
Lewis is so experienced and so smart that he probably can navigate that a lot better than most people. Not that Charles couldn't, because he's a really nice guy, really smart, really talented. But you know what I mean. Those situations can really affect different people in a new way. In a different way. Ahead at the apex. Thank you. Early stages. Setup is cooking. That's invalid. Ah, how was that not invalidation? What? Okay, that one was. I had to double check I was on strict corner rules then. Making my way downtown, walking fast. Haha, yeah, get those music emojis in. We capped the AI while not using battery by 3 seconds in 1 lap. That was a fail. Go on. Oh, connection. He didn't even stop. Hello. I got none of them. None of them.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, you make a really good point, Wildcat. And this is what I was thinking, actually, about the Yuki situation with Max, right? So Max, debatably, and in my opinion, has a really strong cause to be the best racing driver in Formula 1 history, right? Max has loved the ground effect era. Debatably, it's been his best time as a driver in Formula 1. You know, not just statistically, but I mean overall, right? So you got Yuki coming into a difficult car and a difficult team to operate in, and Max has experienced the whole ground effect era in that car. Same as Lewis, you know, he's going up against Leclerc, who's experienced the whole ground effect era in the car. So that changes a lot about the way you feel about it, you know? I think that's why a lot of people are struggling to adapt to their new teams, like Carlos Sainz, for example. Because it's not like normal regulations in Formula 1. I think the ground effect cars have so much difference between them, are so subtle to drive as well, that switching teams is more difficult than maybe in a long time it has been. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, Lewis, when the car is underneath him, is still the old Lewis, right? But, like, yeah, he just... Lewis is so... The problem is... Alright, here. I'm going to drop some truth bombs on you guys right here, you know?
Radio check.
Lewis is so intelligent that when something is wrong, he wants to fix it. Instead of just saying, beep it, like in terms of the F word, like beep it, let's just drive through the problem, right? What is a really good strategy to get good results occasionally. But Lewis wants to fix the problem rather than just drive through it. So when Lewis gets the car good, it's phenomenal, like in China. But if the car isn't good, or there's some problems inside the team, he wants to fix it. You know? Like, and that's Lewis's really one of his biggest strengths, but also biggest weaknesses, that he tries to fix every problem around him. what pays him well when people want to listen and people want to support him. But if people don't want to listen, then it's its biggest enemy because he spends extra energy on it because he can't understand why, or possibly can't understand why, because of course I'm not Lewis, I'm just a random guy in a sim chair, possibly can't understand why people don't want to improve as well. That's my opinion on that anyway. Watch it, Dodger. There's been no one in chat. Everyone's stunned. Either they're stunned in a good way or stunned in a bad way. Yeah, that's a fair point, Wildcat. No, Lewis doesn't struggle in midfield cars. Like, Lewis doesn't struggle in midfield cars. That's not the case. Like, I can't describe it because 2009 was a phenomenal season, and that car was dog. That car was terrible. So, like, he doesn't struggle in midfield cars. He just struggles to drive a car that isn't good in the balance, you know? What is also a talent of Max, he just rags the thing. But that's also why Max is like, Lewis is up there with being the best, but possibly Max is the best. Possibly, the thing that I think gives Max the advantage over Lewis in some situations is Max's culture is he's gonna say it really straight. And don't get me wrong, I think Max seems like a nice guy, and actually a really cool guy to hang out with. But Max will say it so straight and so honest and so quickly, and if something isn't up to standard, he doesn't operate with you, you know? What can make people offended, but he gets his point across every time without fault. Whereas Lewis is probably a bit more gentle, what means people maybe are slacking a bit more. But for consistency in the team, Lewis's approach is phenomenal as well. Who's my favourite to win the championship? Lando. I reckon Lando's going to win it. And I'm not even a Lando fan, to be honest. If you spoke to me just, let's say, purely on who I'd like to win, nothing against Lando, but Oscar would be really nice to win the championship. I'd like that. But I think Lando's going to win it. The reason I say that is Lando now has a good confidence back with the car. Since they updated the geometry of the front suspension, he has a really good feeling with the car again. And as we get towards the end of the European season, and back to the flyaways, as we saw last season, Lando is a beast at those tracks. I think it will go down towards the last, race or two of the championship. Yeah, possibly the last race. Okay, good baseline already.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Roscoe makes less mistakes, for sure. But I think Lando has peak pace over him. And I think as Lando settles into the season, that peak pace will continue to come through. Like it did in Austria quali. Lando is definitely more sensitive than Oscar. Like, mentally. But I don't think that... I genuinely don't see any bias from McLaren. And they just seem to be letting the drivers fight it out. So that sensitivity seemingly won't get used against him. And I think Zach and the whole rest of the team understand how strong McLaren is. Also for next year with their team dynamic. That they won't risk people messing that up for McLaren, you know? They won't let them fight that much. No, it's not that they won't let them fight that much, because they did in Austria. But I mean internally. They won't let friction grow between them. And I think they both know, for their own good, they can't let the friction get between them either.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Setup is almost very good. Well, it is very good, but needs a little bit extra jazz to it. Something I'll be interested by, though, is where Alex Dunn ends up. Because I think, realistically, Alex Dunn, based on his FP1 performance and his F2 performance at the moment, deserves a seat in Formula 1. Early doors to say that, I know, but I think he does. McLaren won't offer him that, because they won't fire Oscar or Lando. I think the only teams that Alex Dunn can go to for next year, Alpine. But I think Alpine are looking for Bottas, to be honest. So that would be pretty difficult. Cadillac or Red Bull Academy. I think a lot of it comes down to how much McLaren would let him go to let him race, you know? If McLaren want to keep him for their own program, I don't know his contract, of course, but they probably could. Right, car balance is cooking. Just need to understand the wing level a little bit more. If we can go lower.
Alright, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Can we go lower on rear ride height? Okay, let's try that quickly. Okay, I can't go lower on rear ride height. That curb was not enjoying it.
Okay, radio check. Radio check.
Right, let's try that. Let's try that number. Okay, that felt good. How many tracks have we done today? So far. Okay, this is cooking. We've done Hungary, Brazil, we're about to finish, Kota. Chat, do you remember what track we started on? I think we did one before Hungary, no? Okay, we started on Hungary. Okay, copy that. Okay, that balance is phenomenally. It is perfect.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please.
1, 2, 3,
Radio
4.
check.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Radio check.
We can probably go lower. Right, let's try that. Let's try that. If we do them, maybe an hour or so. But again, there's no promises. No promises there. Because my first priority is setup development. And to be honest, I'm actually having a lot of fun at the moment. Because, yeah, like... in the last 2 days... Okay, that's too low on the wing. The last 2 days... Oh my god. The development
Okay, radio check.
is
Radio check.
insane.
Radio check.
Like, absolutely insane. I'm happy to credit the person on stream. I don't know if they want to be credited, so I'd prefer to ask them before. But they gave me a bit of a pointer in the direction of the setup as well for some changes, you know. So like I said, I'll be more than happy to credit the person, but I just want to double check with them before I say them on stream. But they gave me some pointers, and building upon that as well, how it's changed the anti-roll bars, the wing setup, the ride height. It's literally unlocked so many doors just from that one change on the setup. And yeah, it's been insane. Like, genuinely, I think the setup is, depending on the track, 3, maybe 4 attempts faster as we're upgrading from V2 to V3 setup. Right, we're going to save that as a baseline. Yeah, it is an insane increase. Right, one more test on the wing here. Just showing 10 miles an hour faster. That's what not having a girlfriend does for you, mate. Not that that sounds really out of context. Basically, I didn't go outside for like 10 years of my life. I just locked in, didn't go to prom, locked in on video games, and we absolutely cooked. True story. I did a league race. I did a league race instead of going to prom. That's actually a true story, that is. I got P3 in that race as well. But now I'm not racing. I can have a happy relationship. Nah, prom is cool. Prom is cool. Like, prom isn't an issue. Okay, the baseline setup was the best. Not the baseline, but what I saved before that wing change.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Let me just check it saved correctly. Then we'll do the wet setup for Brazil.
Radio check.
My relationship with a car, not a human. That's not very nice. It's a very nice person I speak to. Very nice indeed. Yeah, rejection isn't to be scared of, mate. Like, as long as you do stuff in an honorable way, like, and a way that you can be proud of, rejection is not a problem. I think people get really, what is the word? Scared of rejection because they don't do it in a way that they can be proud of. The way I look at life, this goes to anything, by the way, relationships, racing, work, personal life, whatever it may be. For me, the key, the absolute key, is if you genuinely believe that you did something to the best of your ability that you had with knowledge at that point in your life, you know. So if you did something to your best of ability with the knowledge you had at that time, whether it's asking someone out on a date, doing a work, doing something, whatever it may be, then you have nothing to be scared of rejection with. Like, it's only when you do something not to the best of your ability that you can be scared of rejection, because you know that you could have done it better. That's the way I look at it anyway. There's nothing wrong with being shy, to be fair, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But to be fair, mate, like, also being shy can be your advantage, you know? Good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
Welcome to
Respect.
Sao Paulo, which has
Respect,
been the host
mate.
of
Honestly,
Formula
big
One
time
races
respect.
since 1973.
Like, let me just go through these menus so I can pause it and not be distracted by the guy speaking. Like, respect. Honestly, any job is a good job. Well, not any job is a good job, because people who rob banks probably consider themselves a job. And that's not a very good job. But honestly, mate, like, people who do this kind of work are very much needed in the world. Like, they are so needed in the world. Like, whether it's the bin men, bin women, like cleaning the street, or someone putting shelves up with food, or checkout at a supermarket, doing the train operation, doing your car MOT, fixing your car. You know what I mean? You know my point. These jobs are really honorable because society would fundamentally collapse without them. Like, imagine a world where people were not stacking shelves or working in a supermarket. We would be hopeless, you know? So really, big respect to you, my friend. Big respect to you. I'm just going to go to the toilet, and I'll be back in just a second. Enjoy the view of the duck. Enjoy the view of the duck. What a weird statement. Oh, Hi there, duck. Yeah, believe in yourself and you'll be surprised what gets you. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a very true fact indeed.
Okay, mate. Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Oh, there's my setup. Actually, I did that kind of the wrong way around. Bugger. I just saved my wet setup as my dry. Sometimes you don't need to hope, you just need to do. Tell that to Ferrari? What? You don't need to hope, you just need to do? Yeah? Fair. Oh, need to charge my phone.
Atmospheric tracks don't come much better than this. We're in Brazil for qualifying. Let's get some laps at the limit.
Ah, there's my setup. PSGL tomorrow? Nope. No chance. I'm not racing PSGL. No way. Too much sweat. I'm not too sure the next track. We're just doing Brazil wet though at the moment. Just to get the wing level balance. But it's fun. Yeah, sure. Do it for like over 10 years, and then yeah, it's not so much fun anymore. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks, bud. Are you doing good as well? You're too old for PSGL? How old are you? You don't mind me asking.
Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Wow, that was unexpected. Yeah, thank you very much. That was good in the end. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm proud of doing it though, Lewis, to be honest, because it made me that I could do like this right now, you know. So I'm very happy I did do it. But would I do it again in another life? 100%. 100%. If I was born again and I was 15 years old, I would 100% do it again. Every day of the week. Every day of the year. I love that journey. I loved it to bits. I'm not really sad it's over, to be honest, but because I'm so burnt out from it, but what a journey. I'll do it all over again. 35? Ah, yeah. Bit hard to be sweating for league racing at 35, not gonna lie. Okay, wing is too low. Always feel that. Oh. I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's actually really nice, because I was going to be doing this stuff offline anyway. But it's really nice having you lot here. It was like a really nice community that I can sort of chill with, you know? I like that a lot. I think, honestly, the wings I guessed might have been the best wings to use. Was I 15 when I started? No. So, I did motocross as a kid. I did that until 4 years old, then ran out of budget. Then I started playing F1 games in 2010. Yeah, started playing them in 2010. Started doing it competitively in 2014. So I have been playing the F1 games for 15 years. Every day. Well, not every day. Consecutively. Every week, at least, I've been playing them. because I love them. I just love it, to be honest. Yeah. So I don't know how exactly old I would have been. I would have been about 15. I would have been about 15, maybe 14. My math is probably not mathing when I started competitive racing in 2013/2014. Kind of was interesting games, to be fair. Yeah, I get what you mean, mate. Like, you get to a certain point where games are just not that interesting anymore. I'm the same. Like, apart from, like, I love what I do with the racing games, or F1 in particular. But I can't play COD for that long. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good as well, bud. I mean, to be honest, like, GTA 6... It seems cool. It seems cool, but I'm not, like, in the position where I'm just like, oh my god, I can't wait for it. Because, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to buy it. In all honesty with you. I'm sure it's going to be a great game, don't get me wrong, but I don't have the PlayStation or console to play it on. And the way I see it is, if I had to buy the console, how much is a console these days? £400? Like, to get a console that GTA 6 will come out on, it's probably going to be about 400, right? Probably about 400. The game's probably going to be about £100. I have my life, I have work to do, like... Yeah, I have a PC, but I don't think it's going to come out on PC straight away. I think it will be delayed for the PC release.
Yes, excellent lap. We're all very, very pleased with that one. Nice work.
What if they actually include a racing circuit? Yeah, I mean, but still, I probably won't be that interested. I'd want to play it, but my point is, like, let's say it costs £500 to buy the game on console and the console itself to play it on, right? I can easily go to Italy for a fantastic weekend for £500. Like, how much would that be? How much would that be? To go to Rome. Let's go Rome. Okay, to go to Rome from London cost me £100. Okay, so probably for let's say for 4 days, I can get a nice hotel for £400 as well. So either I could play GTA 6, what I'm probably going to get bored of in a month, or I can go to Rome for 4 days and experience Rome. It's a bit of a no-brainer. Bit of a no-brainer. Do I still enjoy playing F1? Yeah, I love it, to be honest. I love it. I love it.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Do. Obviously GTA 6. Nah, he cooked. He cooked. Yeah, I mean, like, other people would get loads of value out of it, to be honest. Like, loads of people can get loads of value out of GTA 6, but I would play it for a month, have some fun with some friends, but I wouldn't really feel a need to be grinding it after then, you know? Just wouldn't spike my interest. Because I'm not, like, I love pushing myself to be better. I still and always will love that. But there's nothing on GTA more than likely that I'm going to be, like, so fascinated to either do content about or to push myself to be better on, you know? We do challenges against YouTubers. Who would you play? Mr. Beast. Give me that ad revenue, baby. First video, 50 mil views. Brendon Leigh destroys Mr. Beast in a 1v1 that catamizes the Ageds and puts him back into 2018. Boom, that would be the title. Alright, good night for your league race, buddy. Brendon Leigh reaches 10 mil subs in one day. Show me the money. 1 mil, 1v1. Mate, I'm making a mil. But if I don't win for whatever circumstances, I'm bankrupt. He can have my PC. Ah, the AI are in the way. Bugger off. I mean, to be fair, I've done a Formula E test on the sim for a team, and the Formula E car is so hard to drive. Honestly, it's really difficult. Way harder than I think anyone would imagine. Setup is already cooking. No, the Formula E car isn't heavy. It's quite light generally. It just doesn't have downforce. The attack mode was the hardest thing. Like, the attack mode is the hardest thing. Now they have the 4-wheel drive, I think makes it a bit easier. But when I tested it, they only had the attack mode for the rear tires. And oh my god, you literally went from pressing like on some straights, full throttle, to only reaching 50% power on the throttle. Because that's how much extra power you had that you couldn't.
Really just getting started.
It was crazy. For the title? How do you mean about that? What title?
It's time for today's race at the auto.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Mate, no, do not say radio check. I'm not having it. You'll get banned. No, I'm joking. You won't, but... Yeah, it's insane. Because it's electric, it's straight away, you know? So, like, in a normal engine, like, even in Formula 1, you're sort of pressing and modulating the throttle, anticipating the power to come, because, of course, it's not instantaneous, and it has a torque build-up curve, you know? And a power curve, depending how much fuel is going into the engine and when the throttle is being pressed. So it's something that you can predict. With the electric power, it's instant, right? So you have to change your brain from going, how much throttle can I press because what I anticipate to happen next with the RPM, to how much throttle can I press for the grip. Yeah, but like even in Formula E, if you put like 30% throttle, stamp it in the wrong situation with cold tires, easy spin. Easy spin. 21 Silverstone me. Cheers. Much appreciated. I regret to inform you that I shall pass you up on that offer. Yeah, the thing is, like, I agree with you, Lewis. Like, the thing is, like, at the low speed, the power is so much, but you have no downforce, and you basically have road legal tires, right? So it's not like Formula 1, where you have loads of grip and downforce, etc., etc. It's so instant, it's really difficult to manage. Yeah, as well, like... Exactly. So we need to pick our next track. So Kota we've done... I think Mexico. Adds the difficulty, yeah. I don't think people like feel just how much like groove tires take away grip compared to a slick. Like with grooved, I think you're losing like 30% surface area of the tire on like Formula E. And that's a made up stat, by the way, but I'm presuming you lose about 30%. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Welcome to the
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Whoa! We're living on a prayer. Take my hand and we'll say it, I swear, whatever the lyric is. Are you ready to see the most outrageous rundown to turn 1 in your life? Yeah, they're basically road tires that are made for racing. Like, so I think you could take the Formula E tire and put it on a road car. But of course, they're made a bit more hard just with the load of racing. Because if you did take the exact road tire, what Michelin make, and you put it on a racing car, it would, on a Formula E car, it will melt within like 10 laps probably. Convert some sound of up. You're joining quads. Oh, yeah, have fun, man. Enjoy 2021 Silverstoning him. I'm sure he'll really appreciate it. Oh my god. McLaren is the fastest car in the game. Depends on your budget, to be honest. Depends on your budget.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio
Oh
check.
my god. Yeah, get that fucking guy blocked. Probably Fanatec or Mozo would be your best bet then, for that sort of price range. Ooh. I've never used the Mozo R9. From what I've heard, it's a good wheel. But yeah, I can't personally recommend it because I've never used it, you know. Gotta drive 3 hours? Is that 3 hours including traffic or without traffic? Including? Ah, okay, copy. So on a normal weekend, you must only live 10 minutes away. Traffic on Silverstone GP weekend is nuts.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
It is hellish. Oh! The AI are having a battle royale. Nah, chat isn't starting to die, man. Don't be so negative. If people want to do other stuff with their time, if people want to lurk, if people want to chill, or even if people don't want to watch, fair enough. But I don't like that. I don't appreciate it when people are like, oh, chat is starting to die. Water's starting to get sleepy. Don't blame me, mate. I'm not live on Twitch because I have some issues with my streaming at the moment. So when I multi-stream, my YouTube stream crashes and it makes some problems. So I'm basically trying to work through those until I fix it. Then I'll be only on YouTube. But I plan to go back live on every platform in the future. To basically sum up what's happening. Right. Cheers, buddy, for coming in. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that. Hope you have a good sleep, have a good rest, and hopefully have a good Friday as well.
Okay, radio check. Radio check.
Radio check.
it hard to focus for 71 laps? Not really. Mainly because I'm not doing 71 laps at the moment. I'm doing the opening laps of the races to test setup. To get a really good baseline. And then test further off the stream. But yeah, I'm just updating setups for my website, basically. Because that feeling now is really good.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Like, that as a baseline setup is phenomenal. But I just want to check if I can go lower wing or not. Right, are you heading off, Ibrahim? I don't quite understand the message, or if you're saying goodnight to Lewis. But if you are, appreciate you tuning in, buddy. Really nice to see you around again. Yeah, okay. Ah, fair enough, mate. But yeah, still appreciate you tuning in, bud. Always nice to see you here. Appreciate your company. No problem. Ah, thank you.
Okay, radio check.
Radio.
Okay, that should be final wing change for Mexico. And then we can move over to the wet setup. Do you know what? I'm really feeling like going for a run, actually. I haven't been on one in a little while when I've been letting an injury heal up. Not really for different tires. So I'm basically making a race setup, a qualifying setup, and a wet setup. We'll work on all tires, just naturally for making them for different conditions. But if you have any other questions, mate, like you say, you're new to F1. If I can be any help to you in learning F1 a bit more, I'll be more than happy to. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
I think this will be our 4th track today. I think 4th. Right. Cook up. One more setup we're going to do. We're going to make a wet setup for Mexico. Then we'll call it a day on the stream. Pipe it up. The time gain
Okay, good job, mate.
really depends a lot on the track.
It's a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
But I would say anywhere between 1 second and 2 seconds, to be honest. That's probably a decent range for how much, like, a setup that I run will be advantaged over a default setup in the game. Second monitor is going to turn off. That's not ideal. Okay, that's cooking.
Fantastic. You've got pole position.
Yeah, beautiful job.
Monaco default to setup is probably 2.5 seconds, probably, because Monaco's quite big for setup changes. The AI are the same pace overall as F124, but compared to the two games, they definitely make up more of their lap times on the straight now. That's for sure. What means it throws a lot of people off, to be honest, because the AI balance is quite poor in this game.
Okay, mate. Radio check, please. Radio check.
Ready, check. Yeah.
Right, time to test the wets, and we are Gucci. Ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I feel good. I feel good. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I didn't sneeze. Exquisite. Do I think Max will join Mercedes? I do, yeah. From every rumor I hear, the Mercedes power unit is really good for next year's regulation change. And Red Bull are doing their first ever power unit for next year. Was quite risky. So if Max is going to change teams to Mercedes, now is the best time. Plus, I think Mercedes love the idea of having, like, Max in the team. I think George could be world champion, for sure. But from, like, a marketing general point of view, I think it means a lot. I think it means a lot to Mercedes to have Max in. Like, a 4-time world champion, the fan base he has, like, I think him and Kimi is the Mercedes dream. But
Radio check, radio check.
with that being said, George deserves better. George deserves to be on a Mercedes contract, in my opinion. He's done enough to earn it. And it's a real shame he might not be getting it, to be honest. He's done, at least in the public, more or less everything right. He's been loyal to them. But yeah, I'm speculating at the moment, but we will see. We will see what happens in the future, you know? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. On that note, though, chat, on that note, it's been a very lovely stream. That has been a very productive stream. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with the setup progression that we've made in this time. It's been very good. So yeah, everyone, I'm going to end the stream right now. We'll be back live tomorrow. We're going to do another YouTube video tomorrow as well at UK 4 PM time. So hopefully people watch that. I really appreciate it. Grazie. But yeah, the support today, always nice. It was great to have the pleasant conversations that we've had. That was really nice as well. So yeah, thank you everyone. And I will catch you tomorrow. And I'll be uploading the setups that we just made onto the website tonight as well. So yeah, lovely, lovely, jubbly. And I will catch you guys and girls tomorrow. Grazie, ragazzi. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.